boys and ghouls to the Memory Lane Comics Comic Shop Talk Halloween Spooktacular. I'm your host, Jose, and today we're doing something super fun, super different. We're going to be talking about our favorite October Halloweeny books. Woo!
Halloweeny books.
Yay! So I'm going to be talking to the MLC staff about their favorites. And right now, I'm here with Mr. Tyler Wood.
Hello.
And the Bingus herself, Reese.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for being here, guys. Thank you. Cool. Okay. So I about a week ago, I asked you guys to pick your favorite spooky books or just October
Books that make
fall.
me feel fall.
Yeah. When the air is crisping. So I think you guys have had a good amount of time to...
Yeah, I've been thinking hard about it. So.
Real hard.
Oddly enough, I haven't thought about this at all.
At
all. Okay, who wants to go first? Tyler? Reese?
Do you want to play rock, paper, scissors for it?
I don't know if that's good audio content.
That's true.
I'll jump in. So I'm not a super big horror guy, but I dabble in things. So my favorite writer and artist duo in comics is Brubaker and Phillips. Ooh. And they mainly do crime, noir-y kind of stuff, but they venture into the horror realm every now and again. And I think in 2012 they had a series, Fatale, that has it's crime noir mixed with Cthulhu, Lovecraft type monsters.
Whoa, that sounds awesome, actually.
That sounds great.
Yeah, so and it's like kind of a mystery. There's it's basically follows the or kind of plays with the tropes of the femme fatale, who comes to the private detective with a crime to solve, but she's not always what she seems, and without spoiling anything, she's got some supernatural stuff going on. But there's monsters with Tommy guns and demons, and
that's so sick.
I'm sold already, and I don't usually go there.
But no, it's a cool kind of crime noir story mixed with that eldritch horror type stuff or whatever. So
that sounds incredible. I haven't read any Brubaker Phillips at all.
You gotta read something.
I know. I want to dabble more into the crime noir stuff, and I know they have the crime noir series with. And
they're really good with there's a whole universe they've built, but all of their stories are self-contained to some degree too, where they connect, but you can read anything in any order, and it makes sense as just a cool story.
That sounds incredible. Is that part of the?
No, so they kind of have their big criminal universe, which is their main title. But then they do little offshoots every now and again. So Fatale's its own. It's a 24-issue series that gets collected in 4 trades. But it's kind of its own thing. It takes place in the 30s, 50s, and then into it jumps around in time.
Cool.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Mythos time frame. That sounds awesome. My gosh, and we currently don't have that one in stock.
We'll see what we can if we get that in.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and put some on order because that sounds really good. And
yeah, that does sound really good.
I have wanted to try their stuff since I started working here. Since before I started working here.
I think that might be a good entry point for you just because you like that Lovecraftian kind of stuff a little bit.
Love it.
So I think that would be a nice fusion.
Yeah. And you said there was a Kickstarter that we just
backed yeah. So Jim Mafood has he's a kind of a crazy cool indie artist. He just dropped a Kickstarter that launched at the beginning of October. We're still in October, and he it's basically kind of like a Spider-Man parody, but it's also fused with all this weird Halloween spooky imagery.
Sick.
So it's called the Arachnid Enforcer. So the shop just backed it. Yeah, it just went live, and it's kind of, if you're following comic stuff online, you'll probably have seen it. But the shop backed it, so we'll have books when that drops. I think it comes out in May.
Did he do bootleg Spider-Man?
No, okay. It's a different guy. He did. We have his he did a Batman parody. We have part 2, Savage Street Vigilante. Okay, that was his Kickstarter from last year.
Okay, fun.
But no, it's kind of it's a different artist, but it's similar kind of vein.
Okay.
But
that does sound interesting. Though.
Yeah, so we backed that, but definitely check that out for some Halloween spooky vibes.
How long is that Kickstarter running?
I think it's through the month, so towards the end of October, I think is when it ends. Okay, so it just started on the 1st.
Like Spider-Man.
Awesome. Reese,
Yeah,
You picked a book.
I did pick a book.
Yeah.
I've also never been on a podcast before, so I wrote down my notes a little bit so I can keep my brain in check.
Well, this is barely a podcast.
Yeah, well...
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
I was going to choose a different book, but I think I feel a little bit more passionate about the one that I chose, since I think I've rewatched the anime about 100 times already.
Yeah.
But the book I really like because it's kind of like episodic in nature, so it's not one of those books that you'll read the first volume and like feel like you're not getting anything. So it's kind of like each chapter is its own story and its own story, and it just keeps going and the story keeps unfolding, like that kind of thing. But I chose it for October because it does go through all the seasons, which I like the fact that it makes you, even though it's like sometimes winter, sometimes fall, it always kind of makes you feel warm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's called Natsume's Book of Friends, and I think it's the perfect in-between of like scary and cozy.
Ooh.
So, but not visually scary in the way that you would think it is, but the kind of premise that it is, it's like the main character, ever since he was a kid, like is able to see like monsters and ghosts kind of, but no one in his family believes him, and he never really had friends because he's always acting weird. Because honestly, if you were a kid seeing like these monsters and stuff, you'd probably act weird and scared all
Yeah,
the
you
time.
might get bullied.
You might get bullied, which he definitely did.
So do the monsters become his friends then? Is that the...
Kind of. He's kind of had like the same monsters following him and bullying him his entire life. So he kind of has to, and he realizes that his grandma was able to also see ghosts. Ooh. So he kind of realizes that it's like this ability is like jumping generations, but he can't ask his parents about it since he was orphaned as a child.
Oh.
And he gets passed between families since nobody wants this weird kid.
Oh my gosh.
So he's kind of left to his own devices most of the time, having to deal with the fact that he can see monsters and can't really tell anybody about it out of fear of like getting passed to the next person.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is what happens to him. But his grandma was taking... she was also lonely and bullied because she could see these things. But she was older, so what she was doing was like playing games with these yokai, and she ended up passing away early, so these yokai were like stuck losing this game where she would take their names. So he finds the book where she wrote all these names down, and he has to return them to all these yokai, and he has to learn how to be kind to them even though he was bullied by them his entire life. So it's kind of like the scary part to me is like you're just this kid growing up and you never really know if somebody that you finally made a friend with is real or not, because they take the shape of like humans, animals. You know, he finally finds somebody that he thinks can see monsters too, only to realize that it's a ghost.
Dang.
So it's kind of like scary in the fact that you're like, I can't even imagine going through that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sad.
But at the same time, it's like he has his found family, he has his real family, and he's finally making friends because he's realizing, I understand these monsters. It's just as lonely as I was. Mm-hmm. They were bothering me because they wanted to be close to me, not because they were necessarily like evil in nature. So it's kind of like heartwarming in that way.
How long is this?
I'm not sure how many volumes it is, but it has
1,000 volumes.
The anime is 7 seasons.
Oh, wow.
And there was just a recent season. I think 7 was like the most recent.
Okay, it's still going.
I think so.
Dag.
But yeah, I kind of want to do it for book club, to be honest.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, only 1,000 volumes worth of...
Well, but that's the thing, that it's episodic.
Yeah.
So the first volume ends, and, you know, you would have to pick up the next one to get more episodes. But it's not like it leaves it unended in the first volume.
It wraps.
So I finished it, and I was like, can we please do this for book club? I would love this.
That'd be so fun.
But it is my favorite media, I think.
That's so fun. On the topic of media, are there any Halloween-y movies or anything of the sort? Anything you could recommend to get into the spirit of Halloween, Hallows Eve?
I think...
Like, I love Trick or Treat. That movie is so freaking good.
I think I would rewatch...
I watched that for the first time this past year, last year. So,
yeah.
No, it's good.
It's so fun. It's so Halloween-y. It's so goofy. It's like Gremlins, but for Halloween instead of Christmas. It's so fun.
I haven't seen that one.
It's definitely... It has some dated jokes, for sure.
Yeah, it's like 2006, I think, or 2008.
Yeah, but overall, it's really fun. It's like a little horror anthology, but all the stories are taking place on the same night in the same town with this little Halloween.
Yeah, there are lots of little short stories that kind of intersect.
It's so cool. It's so cool. And when you rewatch it, you catch little things like in the background or noises happening, and you're like, "Oh, that's from this story." That's so cool.
Oh, I love that. I think I would rewatch The Blair Witch.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I only realized I liked it after I saw it.
I've never seen it.
The original Blair Witch?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I probably shouldn't have seen it as young as I was, but I thought it was fantastic.
When it came out, I was in, I think, middle school, so I wasn't allowed to see it.
Oh no!
And then I just never went back and rewatched it. So
Was there any part of you that believed that it was a real... No?
Oh, for me, absolutely.
Oh, same.
That kind of thing scared me. Like, that's what I didn't like out of horror movies, because it scared me. It's like, if I leave the theater thinking that something is gonna come for me, then I don't like it. Yeah. But, like, I liked it a lot.
That movie scared the mess out of me, because I thought it was... I was little when I saw it. And, years later, when I rewatched it as an adult, I was like, oh, nothing happens in the movie, like, at all.
Well, I feel like the further you get, at least my perception, having not, like, I know, I've seen clips and I know what the basic premise, but the further we get away from that, technology-wise and time-wise, like, it becomes, like, less impactful or something, like, because it's, like, such a time capsule of the late 90s and...
Definitely,
like,
yeah. And
the suspension kills you more than the actual movie does.
Yeah, and... I don't know, I guess for the time it was like... I know it wasn't like the first found footage movie, but it was like the first...
I think it was the first one that like broke through or whatever.
Yeah, and the internet was still in its infancy, so like the whole campaign to push it as like a real story was very well done, I think. But now that everyone is so skeptic about anything on the internet...
Yeah, because when people saw it in the theaters were like really working hard to make sure that you thought that this thing was real.
You said you were in...
My mom, when she was younger, she went to go see it, and the theater that was in New York had like a glass case or something to that extent, with like what you thought was like the found backpacks and the found camera and this is found footage, and it's just like kind of like a museum, I would imagine, right? Where you go into this theater and you're like, oh, I'm about to see something that somebody recovered, not a film. So you leave this theater and you only find out years later that it's fake. Or not fake, but, you know, like, it's not, like, found footage.
Yeah, you had to do a little bit of digging on
and that's kind of hard when you don't have the internet that we do.
Sure,
you can't just look up, hey, is the Blair Witch real?
Yeah, the Wikipedia page hadn't been updated yet, so...
And all those actors were, like, fresh, too. They didn't have...
Well, there were no... Like, people didn't know them.
Yeah.
So that was what added to the believability.
And I think they weren't allowed to take any projects, like... immediately after the Blair Witch 2.
Is Blair Witch the one where they had to bother this team to like prove that they're alive, or was that a different movie? Because there was one movie where like the government thought these people died on camera and they had to prove that they were still alive.
I don't know if that was Blair Witch.
It was one movie.
Because it was like, I remember the discourse when it was coming out, and it was like there was information out there to like disprove that it was.
Yeah.
Like, people had to come forward or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Blair Witch, because I think there was, like... I do remember, like, shortly after it came out, the whole, the whole shtick started to kind of fall through. People started seeing through it, but...
The actors just felt so, like... Not like, because they did a great job, like, acting, but it felt amateur. Like, it felt like people, like, it felt like you gave a bunch of teenagers a camera and told them to make a horror movie. And that makes it feel like that really is people that just went into the woods and made a
stripped down.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they did.
It didn't feel like professional acting, which I think sold the movie more.
Yeah. No, it was very believable, but I think they put him in the woods to camp, and they were like, all right, you guys are just gonna camp for the night, and then like the crew would like mess with them and scare them to get reactions. So it's like
genuine.
Yeah, a lot of it is as genuine as can be. It's super fun. Sweet. Any other
for me,
movies?
well, on the witch theme, the Robert Eggers' The Witch is one of my favorite movies.
That's such a good movie. He's doing a werewolf one next. I might have.
I think I think you're right.
So
I haven't. Good. He's just one of the coolest filmmakers, and always does interesting stuff. And but The Witch, I think that's his first movie. That's his I still think is best.
The Witch was
the
phenomenal.
tightest and
Yeah, I love The Lighthouse. I think that one I like more than The Witch
because it's so weird.
It's so weird, but also it was extremely risky. Like, he was making this film for such like a niche audience, and like they gave it their all. Like the conditions in which they were filming with, and the equipment that they used, and the topics, the dialect, all of this stuff is such a...
I think it's a cool double feature, those two, because it's similar in themes and tone, and where The Lighthouse I think is a little more extreme in some of the imagery and the like madness that the characters feel. The Witch is dealing with a lot of those same kind of things or whatever. And
he takes like these period pieces and just leans so heavily into the
historical accuracy and...
Well, I think that's what he like, where he starts, and then he like delves straight into the folklore,
mixing
mythology aspect of it all with the Witch. Like all of the folklore surrounding the witches of that time. Like he makes them real, and
basically if the folklore, those stories actually happened.
Right, time with The Lighthouse too, there's so many reports of wikis going mad because of isolation and being abandoned and stranded in these islands. And he's just like, yeah, what if they actually like went through this insane stuff? It's so beautiful. I love both of those movies. They're so good.
There's a lot of horror movies that I haven't seen yet, and I should.
Either of those are great. But The Witch, super, super good. Spooky Halloween-y movie. Awesome. Okay. I think I think we can move on to our
Wait,
next...
we haven't said our favorite songs yet.
Oh, what's your favorite Halloween song?
Bad and Night. Next book club, actually. Just kidding.
Bad and Night. Next
and here I am to talk about Miku once again.
Absolutely. It wouldn't be
I heard you guys talking about The Witch.
We did talk about The Witch, and we will not talk about The Witch anymore.
We already talked about it. We're done talking about
inspired it. Ernest Scared Stupid.
That's what I should have said. That's what I should have recommended.
Inspired a lot of filmmakers today.
Yeah, Ernest Scared Stupid.
That movie actually, when I was a kid, scared the crap out of me. It's like the scariest. The trolls in that.
That troll is like, I don't know who their makeup guy is now, but he's like a Marvel billionaire. He's got it figured out because that guy was on.
That guy ate. All right, we're going to take a short little break while we switch over to our next guests, but stay tuned. We'll be right back. This giant-sized Halloween Spooktacular is brought to you by our Hallow Read Comics and Crafts Fair. How fun! On Saturday, October 25th, from 1 to 5 p.m., we will be having a huge Halloween celebration at the shops and at Flytrap Brewing. We will be giving out a ton of free trick-or-read comics, and we partnered with Flytrap to host a bunch of local artists and vendors, including an awesome food truck and tarot reading. How neat. So come show off your spookiest or silliest Halloween costumes and support some local folks, or just enjoy a delicious Flytrap beer from their wonderfully diverse selection of craft beer, or one of their many NA options. This event is all ages after all. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. For the longest time.
I thought you were about to hit the...
Yeah, I thought you were about to hit it.
You're about to hit it, dude.
I don't know the lyrics.
Oh, that started off as woo.
And we're back. We're back. Hi.
Hello.
I'm joined this time with Jake and Ben.
And Billy Joel.
They're all twin brothers, three of them.
If you think about it, Billy Joel's with us all the time.
He's in my heart.
Or at least for the longest time.
For the longest time, absolutely. Well, welcome, guys. We're talking about our favorite Halloween-y October books, or just media in general, but books first. So I think, like a week ago, I asked you guys to think on what are your favorite...
You might ask him, but I heard about this, like, at the end of the day, Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't really remember this conversation, to be perfectly honest, but I'm always ready to talk about this stuff. Always ready to talk about this stuff. My mind's been on Pokemon and survival.
Yeah.
Those two things Definitely connected.
It honestly has been
Definitely
horrifying.
connected. Pokemon Survival. So that's been the
that's the
scariest
horror
part
story
of
of
October.
October.
You
so
should
far
have
is-
seen our faces yesterday at 11 o'clock.
My UPS man, like, he didn't know what he was walking into. All right, so yeah. Anyways, I remember us talking about this a little bit, but but I'm stoked.
Yes.
Because I love scary comics. And to me, the one that encompasses everything that I love about horror stuff. I really enjoy satire. I like stuff that's well researched. I like good art, obviously. I like humor, and actually being kind of spooky when it hits is Hellboy. The entire Hellboy run, straight up.
Absolutely.
There are so many short stories in Hellboy that are like the perfect ghost story, the best zombie story you could read. Mike Mignola is absolutely a visionary, and his whole run on that is the best like October read you could possibly do because it lasts you the entire month, and it's good start to finish.
I wanted to mention Hellboy in the last little segment, but I was like, I know Jake is gonna bring it up. He has to.
Yeah,
I mean, I was struggling not to do like a James Tynion book because that man is just spitting fire right now.
I'll go there.
There we go. But man, Hellboy, God, yeah.
Phenomenal. It's literally like autumn vibes. The
Mm-hmm.
art, the colors, like and yeah, the
If
folklore.
you pick up like the Hellboy, like other stories on the bus or
The
something,
short stories, yeah.
you don't have to know any of the lore and history of stuff. You just jump right into basically a story where Indiana Jones is a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a researcher who helps save little towns from like some ghost haunting from the 1700s or something. It's just amazing.
Ooh, I want to jump off of that. There's a webtoon that got printed recently that is very Hellboy-esque.
Oh, yeah.
The Strange Tales of Oscar Zahn. It's really good. It's like a paranormal investigator helping
So
ghosts.
any relation to Steve Zahn?
Probably brothers, if I had
Very
to guess.
funny actor.
Obviously.
Very funny,
Yeah, they're
obviously.
probably related then, or it might be the same person, but just in the afterlife because Oscar Zahn is very dead. He's a
Oh,
ghost.
cool.
Yeah, he's a little spooky. Ghost.
Okay, I'll
but he
have to check
time
that out.
travels.
Sounds awesome.
He he
Is
goes
it
to
out
like
now?
yeah. So I think you can just read it for free on Webtoon, but there's a gorgeous like hard copy that we always have in stock.
Well, I will be picking that up shortly.
It's very Mignola-esque. Like the art is beautiful.
The
colors
cover
are-
for sure looks like straight out of Mignola stuff, and
Yeah.
the art's awesome.
Yeah, it's super good, very somber, but it has like some really cool sweet moments because all he's doing is trying to help these ghosts realize what they're missing and help them like cross over to the
That's
other
fun.
side. It's so fun.
Well, I'll jump off and just go into, like I said earlier, I think the modern master of horror has to be James Tynion.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he's doing is just scratching at the surface of all of our modern fears.
Yeah.
The closet,
Oof.
just like bring back that fear of like the things that go bump in the night kind of deal. But the one I really want to focus on, Nice House on the Lake.
Yeah.
Just like
Stellar.
this apocalyptic.
He just has so
fear.
much depth to why he's telling the story. That's
Yeah.
what's impressive about him to me.
And if you listen to interviews with him, like he explains his thought processes of like coming upon these ideas, and they're also rooted in things that are like naturally to be feared.
Mm-hmm.
But the one I really want to highlight is Department of Truth. I think that's just like his magnum opus, and so essentially it is imagining a world where the more people that believe in something, the more real it becomes. And so it's about this department of the government that keeps the world from spiraling into a flat earth or lizard people or whatever other conspiracy theory that's floating around the internet. They're trying to squash it so that it does not become true. And at times it's like kind of humorous, and at times it's devastatingly parallel to our current reality.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, every single issue of it is just like chef's kiss, and I can't recommend it enough. They're 33 issues in now, and I haven't read one single bad issue of that comic. It's fantastic.
There was a new issue 0 that came out this week that is gonna introducing some of the new characters that are gonna be moving forward, and so you could jump into that one. And it had an awesome backup story on Elvis. There's so many crazy stories about what happened to Elvis or what he was doing at different points in his life, and it has turned into this insane it manifested and is actually transforming the real person into something more than really crazy. And I think that's it's such a he uses these amazing metaphors to actually like tell something that kind of can chill you to the bone in a way that's just perfect. My other thing on Chill to the Bone is the one comic that ever actually did that to me where I was kind of uncomfortable reading it was Uzumaki by Junji Ito.
Ooh, Junji.
Visual horror.
And I know Aces would tell you about some Junji Ito and get
Mm-hmm.
after it. This is, I think, the only one I've actually read. I've got a couple more at the house I need to get through, but we did this for book club a while back, and there was just images in there that I couldn't quite shake. It felt like when I had watched a movie like an Eggers movie or something,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm stuck in that world for a few days, and I kind of can't get out of this mindset. Like, it really was lasting for me.
It's a super fresh take on cosmic horror where you're fighting this unbeatable, inescapable dread. Like, there's no way out of this.
Well, it's almost like in Uzumaki specifically, there's a fascination with what was going on to where, like, you wanted the characters to turn and run so badly, but they just couldn't.
Yeah.
And because of that, you couldn't.
Right.
And so it was forcing you deeper and deeper into this world
The spiral.
of the spiraling horror, and you just could not escape it the same way the characters could not escape it. And it really does just like pull you in and just tear at you over and over again. It's wild.
It hit me to the core, straight up, and
No,
and stayed.
Yeah, I think with like modern cosmic horror, it gets misinterpreted a lot, and a lot of creators just lean towards the Cthulhu-y tentacle, like giant god monsters. But Uzumaki is such a perfect representation of what that genre can be, because it's this completely like unknowable thing. It makes no sense, like why a spiral just keeps showing up everywhere and starts engulfing the world, and it doesn't matter, really. It doesn't matter what they understand or what they know about it.
There's so much stuff like that in real life too, like magnets.
How do they work?
How do they work?
How do they work?
Like what is going on here?
Well, I think I think a great story, especially for something like that, is not explaining the origin of the villain or the force, and just having it.
Unknown.
It just is.
Yeah.
And that's why so many zombie movies, like, some of them will crash out because you find out it was like a monkey, and it's like, okay, like, not that doesn't need disservice to it, but I much prefer that it just one day was.
Yeah.
And that to me is like,
Oh, the mystery of the unsolved is way scarier.
Absolutely.
Which is cool. In like bringing back to Hellboy, there are times where he finds something that like he can't figure out, and it's so unbelievably cool when you like, because he really does research, and he'll find if there's a ghost haunting some town, he figures out that like the bones were buried in the wrong area or something, and he fixes problems for a lot of times for these spirits or goblins or whatever. But sometimes you just can't figure something out, and it's just, guess that's just the way it was.
And he showed up in, what was the book with the dogs?
Beast of Burden.
Beast of Burden.
Yeah.
Super, super good.
Evan Dorkin stuff.
Extremely Halloween-y, very autumn. Like,
Beast of Burden makes me sad.
it's very, yeah, if you don't like to see dogs
Put dogs in danger.
put in danger or hurt, skip that book. But
Puppers.
it's very good. I enjoyed what I read, but my stomach definitely, there was a pit in my stomach for several of those issues. It was,
Speaking of that, like one of the best intros to any of those things is that Dark Horse Book of Horror.
Super good.
It initially was 4 little volumes where there was like a witches, zombies, ghosts, yeah. And then they put it all into one hardcover, and you get a Hellboy story for each genre or each type. You get a Beast of Burden story for each one.
So good.
There's some short stories, some prose. It's just absolutely amazing. That's a really cool way to kind of find some different, like, I mean, there's so many anthologies right now anyways in comics, for horror especially. Hello Darkness,
Creepshow, Silver Coin, Ghost Machines, Hyde Street.
Man, Hyde Street's awesome. There's so many
good.
cool anthology stories coming out right now. The EC stuff is all back from Oni Press, and they're killing it with that.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to find some other creators, that's a really cool way to jump on board with that, where you can like read a 4 to 6 page story from somebody and be like, yo, this guy gets it. This woman can draw. This person can go for it, and you jump into their other stuff. And it's a great way to kind of introduce yourself there.
Yeah. Also, quick shout out to Immortal Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna go kind of mainstream big too. That's a perfect example of how to write horror into a
And
superhero.
the current Incredible Hulk is
Yes.
is like right on the heels of that, and actually delves like maybe more cosmic horror on Mortal Hulk, and then you're rolling into like just straight up like. I mean, it's just spooky stuff in Incredible Hulk right now. It is absolutely phenomenal.
So if you wanted to stay with the superhero genre, but also get a little spooky spook, definitely recommend completing those runs and reading through them because they're just incredible.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, do you guys have any Halloween-y movies or anything that you would like to plug or recommend real quick?
Me and my wife have been really into Korean and Indonesian horror recently.
Oh my god, that's haunting stuff.
Yeah, man, like that kind of stuff. I think it's because like it's not as big of a part of our culture. Like our big offering typically is the slasher horrors and like serial killer stuff, whereas theirs tends to be more demonic possession and just like ghosts and ghouls. But I was telling you about this the other day. The Wailing was like particularly haunting, and it was from this. There's another one from 2013 called The Host, which is like a monster horror that was really fun because it kind of leaned into the Shin Godzilla format of like there was some government interference and bureaucracy things happening, and there was kind of like world news about this monster that was popping up that was spreading a virus and also about like our effect on the world at large and how like bad humans are for the world when they don't do things the right way and dispose of things the right way. Really, really those are two fun ones that I watched just in the past week that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Oh man,
I
was rolling through so many different things.
If you can't think of anything, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean everything that is popping in my head is well known enough that I'm not like you got to check this out.
Even digging Alien Earth.
I mean, Alien Earth was awesome, but it's more. I feel like it's more sci-fi. I mean, there's a lot of like horror stuff going on, especially with like AI and questions to answer. But I feel like that still leans more heavily sci-fi on that.
Yeah.
But Alien Earth was awesome. I thought it was. I can't wait for the next season. I love a lot of the characters in this thing, and check it out for sure.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I think we'll take one more quick break, and we'll be back with our final hosts. Have you ever wanted to join a book club? Hi, I'm Jose, and I'm here to talk to you about the Memory Lane Comics Graphic Novel Book Club. We pick a different book every month and offer 30% off of the cover price. Whoa, did you say 40% off? No, I said 30%. But we usually meet at Luna Cafe on the last Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. I say usually because November and December get a little funky with the holidays, so we changed that up a little bit. This month, for October 30th, we're talking about American Vampire. That's one of Tyler's favorites. Woo! If you can't make it to this one, worry not, because November 20th, we're doing Ginseng Roots. December 18th is Superman for All Seasons, and January 29th is Final Cut by Charles Burns. Big fan of that guy. If you're bad about remembering dates, you can pick up a bookmark with the schedule at the shop. Whether you're a seasoned comic reader or have never read one before, it's a great way to read something out of your comfort zone. Join our Discord for more info, but don't ask me how, because I have no idea. Now, back to the show. Welcome back. I'm here with our final guest of the episode. Ace, hello.
Wow, amazing.
How are you?
I'm the final guest.
Yeah.
How exciting.
Yeah. So have you thought about your favorite Halloween-y autumn books?
Yes, I definitely have. You and I are huge horror comic fans.
Big.
Absolutely. Which is always funny because I also love like sweet romance stuff and YA stuff, but I also love the total opposite end of the spectrum.
There's some great media that crosses over those two genres.
Absolutely. We're Goosebumps kids. So that's
for
like
sure.
our bread and butter, right? So, but I really like indie comics and I really like webcomic artists who make their way into print media. That's like a big part of my passion. So one of my favorite creators is Ian Carroll. Ian Carroll's really, really incredible. They make beautiful, like, color-focused sapphic art. And they have 3 comics in print right now. Through the Woods, which I believe was their first one, I want to say. That's kind of a shorter one. Really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have When I Arrived at the Castle, which is kind of almost like a sapphic Dracula story. Like, very weird, very bizarre, very good art also. And then my the one that you're probably most familiar with is Guest in the House. That's their newest one, and it's gorgeous. And actually, it's funny because I don't usually recommend hardcovers because they're more expensive, and I want people to easily read books. But the hardcover has a slipcover, and underneath is this like beautiful illustration. So that's one of the few books I'm like, you have to get this in hardcover if you do.
I'm trying to look it up. I think they wrote, I could be wrong, but I think they wrote a Bloodborne fanfic.
They might have, because they've been around
Ariana.
for a while. They changed their names, so sometimes it's hard to look up some of their past work. So Ian Carroll is what they currently go by. But yeah, they've written so many like super cool things, and they're just how they like pair storytelling with art is really gorgeous.
Yeah, we want to do one of those books you mentioned for book club at some point. I think that would be super, super fun. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm a huge Bloodborne fan for anyone that doesn't know.
If you
And
talk to Jose for
you've
2 seconds.
Yeah, if you've ever looked at me,
And don't ask if his tattoo is a berserk
It's
tattoo. It's
close.
not.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure they wrote a fanfic about, I think it was Ariana, one of the optional quest side missions for well, actually it that side mission helps you get the true ending.
That makes a lot of sense because they really like to draw like cool armor and like interesting like outfits and stuff like that. Like, they're very focused on the aesthetic side, which I think the writing is still really good, but to me the aesthetic is supreme. Like, the art is the major storytelling device.
Yeah, I know. I really wanted to. I'm pretty sure we have a bunch of.
Yeah, I think we want to do Guests in the House. So if you want to do Guests in the House for book club,
Yeah.
which we have every single month,
Let us know.
yeah.
Let us know.
And then we had an honorable mention
Yes.
for one of our favorite horror comics also.
Yes.
When I first started working here, one of the first comics that one of the staff members recommended to me, Eric, was Nailbiter.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is, it's one of those comics that just gets better over time, too, because it just gets, like, more and more relevant to horror culture.
Yeah. It's such a mystery. If you like the show Hannibal, it's pretty
Like,
similar
Hannibal
to that.
meets Scream, almost. Like, it has some of those, like, talking about horror culture stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it has
but yeah, very Hannibal-esque.
for sure, where like in that
Hannibal,
show
Dexter-y kind
Yeah.
of vibe to it.
there's a detective that is trying to find serial killers, and so he is being assisted by Hannibal Lecter, and it's so neat. And in this book, it's a very, very similar premise where a detective is going to look for his partner that
Yeah.
went missing in this town that has like the highest rate of serial killers originating
It's called,
from here.
It's called Barrow, and they call them the Barrow Butchers.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah, they do.
And they have that kind of like, all of them have their different serial killer
Yeah.
MO.
Yeah,
And one of the killers was proven innocent in court, so he lives in the town as kind of this antagonist.
yeah.
Ish? Question mark?
Read
You'll
and find
have to-
out. That's an excellent series, and that same team made one of my favorite horror series, Dark Ride, which is so good. If you like theme parks, amusement parks, and horror, this blends them both super well. There's a bunch of horror references and references to just other horror media.
Well, and like you were saying, you were doing some research on it, and that the writer wanted to be an Imagineer for Disney.
Yes, yeah.
So these are his like dark takes on.
Yeah, he
That.
made the park. Like, he designed the entire park, and there's a map at the end of the first volume or the first issue, depending on how you're reading it, and it has this like full descriptions of every ride, and they're all named, they're all like plotted out. It's so sick, but it's super fun. It's literally Disneyland, but if Walt Disney were obsessed with horror.
Yeah,
And
scary
it's-
mascots,
oh,
like the whole
they're so
9
freaky.
yards.
It's really, really good. I can't recommend it enough. Oh, and I think, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think it was Nailbiter where there's a cameo, I guess, quote unquote, of Brian Michael Bendis.
It
he
is.
shows up for
It
like
is.
a couple of pages.
My friend was reading it, and he's like, Brian Michael Bendis just showed up, and it's just literally him, and I forgot because it's been a while since I've read it.
So out of nowhere. Like, I don't think it's in the first volume. I think it's
later
a little
in.
ways into the
It
run.
is.
Just at the beginning of an issue. Brian Michael Bendis.
And he just
is-
drops his like full name. It's
Every time.
incredibly funny.
I think they always call him Brian Michael Bendis. Like, every time they refer to him.
very funny.
And for those of you who don't know, he is a huge writer for
Powerhouse
comics.
writer, yeah,
I think
absolutely.
he created Miles Morales
Mhm.
and a bunch of other stuff.
A ton
he's
of great
written
Marvel
for.
runs, yeah.
Yeah. He's written a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, he shows up for some reason
So funny.
in Nailbiter.
And Nailbiter has a very polarizing ending,
Apparently.
which is funny. Reese just showed up. It had so some people really like the ending. I think most people like the ending, but I've talked to people who were like, I didn't like the ending of it, which is and obviously we can't spoil anything.
Right,
but,
right.
But I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And my friend who just read it really liked the ending as well. So
It's a good run. It's a good team.
yeah.
It's super fun. It's not that long either.
Mm-mm.
It's just a couple of volumes.
And they have a whole compendium now.
There is a compendium.
And the compendium, I believe, is cheaper than buying all
Definitely.
the super cheaper.
Significantly.
So if you want to read it, there's a whole complete volume you can read.
Yeah, we should have it in stock.
We will have it in stock.
Yeah.
At Memory Lane Comics.
At Memory Lane. Any other books you want to highlight?
For horror stuff?
Yeah.
Junji Ito's always
course.
incredible.
Yeah.
I love Junji Ito stuff. If you ever want me to like direct you to my favorites, Uzumaki Tomie, Soichi. He's about to come out with a new one that has a really classic story in it. The book's called Moan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly when that's coming out, but it's going to be a really, really good one.
He's always pumping books out.
It's like the Blood Bubbles story, which you see a lot of that art, and it's always fun to see it scattered around. But,
Yeah, we talked about him briefly in the last
I
segment,
heard
and
Ben
he's
mention it.
so good. Yeah, Master of Cosmic Horror, like modern
Yes.
cosmic horror. It's so brilliant,
Really incredible.
so
stuff.
fresh.
And if you've never read a manga, they're great manga to read because they're short story style, so you can kind of get used to the format. and
Yeah,
that kind
and
of thing.
even Uzumaki, one of his longer stories it was published episodically, I think, as in a magazine. So
Yes.
it still kind of reads like short stories, but it has this really, really awesome long plot.
And those are my favorite ones he does, where it's like the interconnected short stories.
It's so fun.
That's some of my favorite kind of horror storytelling.
And he has some goofy stuff too. He gets a little
loves-
silly.
His like favorite person, or like his huge figure he looked up to, Umez, was he did that, the like blend of horror and comedy, and he does that mostly in Soichi, who's my favorite character. He thinks he's a vampire, and he puts nails in his teeth to get more iron. It's like so silly. It's really, really fun.
Yeah, horror and comedy just they are so perfect together. I think like the best horror stories have a little bit of humor in it to either like put you in a sense of ease, like false comfort, or to juxtapose the
contrast, right? Like
the horror that's about to hit.
Well, it's like sometimes when people are uncomfortable, they laugh, and I think that's really tied to it too. It's so interesting.
Real quick, any horror media you want to give a shout out to?
Sure.
Any horror movies that you really enjoy, or songs, music, anything like that?
Yeah. We both love a show called Over the Garden Wall.
I have a tattoo of, yeah.
It's honestly, to me, one of the best, like, horror fall,
Yep.
like, media you could watch.
It's so good. And it's all ages, too.
Yes.
Like, it hits as an adult. It's not too scary for a younger audience. It's very cute, very whimsical, and the music.
Yeah, beautiful animation, incredible voice acting cast. You have Elijah Wood as one of the main characters. You've got Tim Curry's in it, John Cleese, like all of these like powerhouse voice actors, and none of them like spotlight hogging or anything. It's very balanced.
It's so good. Very bite-sized. Like, all the episodes are, like, 10 minutes long. They're very, very
like
short.
10 episodes or something. So you could just
10
watch
episodes.
it all in one go.
It's one short movie. It's very, very doable. But, yeah, it's phenomenal. I watch it every fall season as soon as the air is crisping.
I think we joke about it. We're like, it's Over the Garden Wall time.
Absolutely.
I'm like, when was your first watching of it this
literally
season?
started watching it in September this time around.
Yes.
It's so darn good.
So yeah, I'll always recommend that.
Absolutely.
And we will bully everyone into watching it too because we
It's
love
great.
it so much.
It's so beautiful. Sweet. Anything else you want to give a shout out to?
I also really love 13 Ghosts. Is a very silly horror movie. So if we're talking about horror that is also silly and comedy, 13 Ghosts, well, maybe unintentionally comedy.
Definitely unintentionally. When I was little, that movie scared me. It's so freaky.
It has moments that are really like
It's
really
disturbing.
yes, but there's also moments that are so overdramatic, very
For
funny.
sure.
It gets into this like concept of dark zodiac and has all this
It's
lore to it.
So wild.
Yeah, if you read like all of the like extra work they put in that never even made it into
Oh,
the movie, like all the
there's-
characters' backstories.
So much love and passion put into making that movie.
And Matthew Lillard.
Matthew
who we-
Lillard is
who
in
we
it. The guy
love.
from Monk. I don't remember his
Yes.
name, but he's in it too.
Tony Shalhoub, is that his name?
Yeah.
That's actually insane that I knew what his name is.
No, that movie's great. It's very like
Yes.
it's got that 90s, early 2000s
Yes.
horror, like that grunge, gross kind of style.
And I
to
think
it.
one of the best set pieces, like the huge glass house,
Oh, it's-
is one of the coolest horror
It's such a good concept.
settings. Yeah.
Yeah, very freaky. That one's not for all ages.
No, don't do
Even though I
don't watch
think
that too.
I watched that probably when I
was
was
about
like
to say.
6 or like
That's
something. I
terrible.
don't know. I thought it was sick.
Yeah, of course, yes, but probably was very scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Enjoy your spooky season,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, come
let
get
us-
spookified. Pick up
Yeah.
some good recommendations, some good spooky
Come
books. And
in-
if you have your own recommendations that you did not hear mentioned here, please let us know. I'm always looking for new stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jose.
Yeah,
And thank you
for being
everyone.
here.
Perfect.
And we might have one more little short segment after this, so we'll take one last for real this time, quick
For
break, and
real.
we'll be right back.
Yay. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. I wanted to take this last little segment to talk about some of the spooky stuff that I enjoyed that I didn't get a chance to talk about earlier in the episode. I know we mentioned, as far as books go, I talked about Dark Ride. That is such a good Halloween-y book. Two of the main characters in the book are named after Halloween. There's literally a character named Halloween. Her brother is Samhain, or Samhain, Samhain, which is the original name of the holiday, I believe. That's a huge recommend for me. I wanted to mention Nameless by Grant Morrison also. This is a book that's always on my recommended shelf, but that I very, 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 very rarely recommend. I can't stress enough how rarely I recommend this book because it is a trigger warning galore. It is so brutal. It is so disturbing. Think of any trigger warning and it has it. So if you, it's like cosmic horror to the max. It's Event Horizon, it's Dead Space put into a comic book. If you are at all interested, I highly advise you look up a trigger warning list or something along those lines. If you think it might be a little too intense, but it is so I don't know, thought-provoking. It's very wonderfully done. Grant Morrison wanted, I think, wanted to create this awesome, epic cosmic horror story, but didn't want to come up with new original deities. So they used pre-existing religions and stuff to base the story around, and it's phenomenal. On the topic of manga, there is an excellent series of H.P. Lovecraft adaptations by Gautanabe. They are drawn so beautifully, and I've read a lot of H.P. Lovecraft short stories. That man cannot write a short sentence. Like, every paragraph is just one long run-on sentence. But Tanabe does such a good job of focusing on the important stuff and turns so many of those insane descriptions into just beautiful artwork. I've read a lot of adaptations. I order a ton for the shop just to try it out and see if it does the visuals justice. And very rarely do any of them do that, but Tanabe just nails it. Like, all of the crazy gods and creatures that I see in my head whenever I'm reading those short stories, he brings to life. And it's so horrifyingly accurate to what the words describe. And it's just a much easier way of reading those short stories, because they are a hassle to get through, genuinely. He's done The Mountains of Madness, he's done Call of Cthulhu, Color Out of Space, Shadow of Innsmouth, and they're all drawn just so unbelievably well. I know I mentioned the movie Trick or Treat earlier, Trick or Treat, with the little Sam, the little fella who is the spirit of Hallows Eve. Well, they did a comic book adaptation of it, and there's an origin story in the second half as well. I know the movie incorporates a lot of the comic book graphic novel aesthetic in it, so it's just really cool that they actually put together an entire graphic novel. And if you're a fan of Saga and Fiona Staples, she has an issue in this story, and it's so beautifully drawn. Sam looks like Goose from Saga, and it's so cute, which is strange because Sam is kind of a horror icon now, but he's so adorable. We touched on my love for Bloodborne earlier. Surprise, there's a bunch of Bloodborne graphic novels, and they're so cool. I always warn people that are interested in them that they very much read like fanfic. The lore doesn't make any sense if you try to make it, canonically fit with the games. But still, as a fan of the series, and knowing that we will more than likely never get any more Bloodborne content, not even a remaster or a remake or anything, it's really cool to see that they put together this series of stories. And most of them are drawn by Piotr Kowalski, who is brilliant. He has this really, really incredible, almost like medieval wood carving style to his art. And it's all colored by, I think, Brad Simpson. And it's gorgeous. It's so cozy and autumny in its colors, its lighting, its art style. And it's so cool to just be put back into that world. There's an Eileen the Crow one. There's one that deals with the church versus the college, and how they have different points of views when it comes to blood ministration. And it's just so cool seeing them both fall into madness of this nightmare. James Tynion, who we talked about earlier, also did a comic book rendition called Blue Book of the 1961 alien abduction of Betty and Barney Hill. If you are unfamiliar with this event, it is the first modern reporting of an alien abduction. So a lot of the tropes you see in movies of the UFO and the experiments and memory loss and all of these cliches come from this real world account. Whether it actually happened or not, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, don't ask me. But this book is really good, and I'm a huge fan of this kind of encounters of the fourth kind and whatnot. It's just so fascinating to me. And moving away from comic books and graphic novels, I really enjoyed this one book called Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman. It's a medieval horror. Not to sound like a broken record, but I initially chose it and started reading it because it was recommended to me as Dark Souls Bloodborne adjacent. It's just so dark, and you're in a world that's already overrun by plague and the apocalypse. There are angels and demons fighting on Earth. It takes place in France during the Black Plague, and you follow this knight, or this person who used to be a knight, and is kind of lost in the world. It's very dark. It's very brutal. Definitely not for the faint of heart, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. On the sci-fi side of things, I loved Annihilation. Not just the book, the movie as well. It's, again, cosmic horror, modern cosmic horror done beautifully. The verbiage in the book, I mean, it elicits H.P. Lovecraft. The story is told through the journal of the main character. So there's a lot of misinformation. She's very much an unreliable narrator, withholding a lot of her past and the things she experiences while she's in this really weird area on Earth called Area X that is being changed and influenced by this weird thing that fell from outer space. Wow, there's a theme here. As far as movies go, I loved, obviously, Trick or Treat. There's a Late Night with the Devil starring David Dastmalchian. It takes place on the night of Hallows Eve, and it's all filmed and presented as an episode of a late night talk show. It's so immersive. It's so cheesy and campy, but it hits so hard. I can't wait to rewatch it this year. Donnie Darko. I know Ben is probably going to hate me for plugging this, but I love this movie. I've already rewatched it this year, and it's wonderful. Hocus Pocus is a lighthearted autumny adventure. I remember watching it with my mom like all the time when I was little, and I would look forward to Halloween or October just so I could catch it on the Disney Channel whenever they would play it. It's so cozy. I adore that movie so much. Huge turn, but the Fear Street trilogy is a really cool celebration of mostly American horror, like the slasher genre in particular, but it homages Friday the 13th with the summer camp vibes and Scream with the high school masked killer, and it just combines all of these really, really cool horror subgenres and puts it into one trilogy. But you should definitely watch the movies back to back to back. They're very much one super, super long movie. Oh, and Reese brought this up. A quick music recommendation. These are songs that I like to listen to, or bands that I like to listen to, while I'm reading these books that I just recommended to you. But Ryan Gosling, surprisingly enough, has a band called Dead Man's Bones, and it's so Halloweeny, it's so spooky, and it's so fun. I love listening to it whenever I don't know, whenever the leaves start falling and the wind is chilling. My favorite thing to listen to while reading, always, no matter what kind of book it is, but mostly horror, is the Silent Hill 2 soundtrack. Akira Yamaoka is a genius. I love his music so very much. Listening to it, you wouldn't think that it was made for one of the most horrifying, chilling video games of all time, because it's just so catchy and upbeat almost sometimes, but it does have like elements of somberness for sure too, and some really, really weird, creepy mechanical noises here and there, but it is such a vibe. Crack open a window and let the breeze in while you enjoy some of the books we talked about on this episode. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. As always, send us your questions. I have yet to receive any questions. What's up with that? But you can send them to our Instagram. You can DM them to us. You can email them to me, to jose@mlcshop.com. Or you can throw them in the Discord. We should make a Discord channel. I don't know if that's the right term. We should make a Discord channel for the podcast specifically so people can just throw their questions in there. And we will try to talk about them or answer them to the best of our abilities on the show. How fun would that be? I don't know, because it hasn't happened yet, but I bet it would be super, super fun. Anyway, thanks for joining us on this super long episode of Comic Shop Talk, and we will see you around the shop.